Hey everyone, it's Megan Barnhart in All Writers Welcome, the ultimate writing group, and I want to talk about writing excuses today. And we all have them. I know I'm really guilty of it, but you can keep writing. So here's my question to you. Do you want to keep writing? And there are times when you're going to say no. You're going to say, I've had enough for today. I've had enough for this week. I need to get up and do something else. I'm just, my brain has turned to jelly. I'm not into it anymore. I'm not enjoying it. I'm fighting myself. And I definitely hear that. So if you don't want to keep writing from where you are in this moment, or if you get to those moments where you just genuinely say, I don't want to right now, totally get it. Get up, take a break. It's a terrible thing to start hating what you love. If you love writing and you're working on it in a way that isn't serving you and you come to dislike it, oh, no, we don't need that. But for those times when you want to keep writing and you don't for some reason, that's what I want to talk about. So if you really check in with yourself, I bet you know when you're giving an excuse, right? Generally in life, we know when we're making excuses about writing or about anything else. But I couldn't because no, it was just this, right? We justify ourselves so much. So I've picked out a couple of places where it's easy for us as writers to justify ourselves, and I want to take away the excuses for those places. So one of the major ways we excuse ourselves from writing is by saying, well, I have to do more research, right? So I passed the research full time, still into drafting, but I come across something and I go, well, I don't know the answer to this question, or I don't know how somebody in that profession would speak, whatever it is. And we say, okay, but I can't go on writing. I have to do more research. That's an excuse. That's totally an excuse. Instead of getting caught in that excuse, what you can do is annotate your draft. And that can be as simple as putting in brackets to say, type of engineering topic here, or type of dance move here, or type of plant that grows in this region here. You can put in a comment in your track changes mode if you're working in Word, or in a comment if you're working in Google Docs, or pretty much any word processing system is going to have a way for you to annotate. So don't get caught in that trap of, I have to do more research. So that's one excuse you can now just let float free. And when you hear it, now you'll know, okay, I'm making an excuse. Another excuse it's easy to get caught in is, well, I know I could just make this sound a little bit better. So you're drafting and what you're stopped by is the language, the phrasing. I can make this a little bit better. And if, we want our writing to be good, but stop and think where you are in the process. You're not responsible for making it sound polished if you are drafting. And even if you're revising, if you're finding you're stuck on one sentence for a long time, in my opinion, it's time to let it go. Because it's now becoming something you're not working on, but just something that's keeping you stuck. So again, get out your brackets. I love putting in the word I know I don't want in brackets, good, bad, thing, stuff, or a whole describing phrase. Some word that would mean she's excited, but she's also trepidatious, right? And I just write notes and comments to myself or using the comment feature. So excuse number 2, I'm still just refining this sentence, and that's why I'm stalled on it. Let it go. You don't need that excuse anymore, and now you know it's an excuse. The third excuse you might get caught in is, I haven't fleshed out this character enough, and so I just have to stop right now and figure out what this character would do or say. Again, this is going to sound so familiar. Put in a comment. And by now, you should see the pattern, because really, the excuse doesn't matter. If you have something that's taking you off, and if you want to be writing, I've mapped out this time on my schedule, and this is, whether it's 15 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes, that you have blocked out to be writing, give that precious time to yourself, and everything else can wait. And then you'll be in one part of your writing brain, and you'll be more efficient. So as you're drafting, you might come up with a whole list. You might have all this marginalia, these pieces of research you need to do, or developing characters, or finding words and phrases that you prefer to the ones that you actually have. But you're not letting them stop you from writing. So you're staying in the part of your brain that's about getting words on paper, in sentences. You're in your flow. Stay in that flow. Just make notes to yourself. Then, at a later time, you can go through and complete all of those tasks. And I guarantee you that the more you practice not switching, the easier it will be to stay in your writing mode and to give yourself that writing time. So to recap, if you want to be writing, you can be writing. And all you have to do is write notes to yourself or items to do later. And you can liken it to if you were sitting and you were writing and you heard the phone ring or the dryer buzzed or something else in your workspace was vying for your attention. You would just say, not right now, I'm writing, and I'll come back to it later. And the task of drafting, because it's so challenging, doesn't want to be interrupted. If we interrupt it, it's hard to get back into it. So do yourself a favor, just make everything a note, file it away to do for later, and keep your commitment to your writing practice. Because the more you do it, the more you'll build that pathway in your brain that makes it easier to do. All right. I'd love to hear your experiences with continuing to write. And also, I am just dying to hear people's excuses. What is the best excuse you have ever given yourself for why you couldn't write? Or what's the best excuse you've ever heard from someone else? I think these would be fun to share, and we could all fess up. We could all admit to what are the excuses we've made to ourselves that we know are really baloney. All right. I will catch you guys in the group, and as always, please let me know if there are topics you want me to cover in my Thursday nights, and I'll make sure I get to them. All right, have a good one. Bye.